Everybody, our lecture tonight, and as usual, let us see our schedule first. So, according to our schedule, this week we will discuss an important topic, abstract. We are behind, a little bit behind, so we have to cover inheritance and polymorphism. Okay. I'm not sure why that problem is. Now, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? From my mic. Can you hear me from my mic? Now can you hear me? Yeah. So according to our schedule, this week we'll discuss important topic, abstraction. We are a little bit behind, one lecture behind due to our test on our last lecture. So how was the test one? Did you do well? Everybody did well? Almost I discussed everything in our lecture, right? Okay, so yeah, everybody please, can you please come forward? Yeah, please come forward. Yeah, people who are behind, please come forward. Okay, the very important thing, if you understand tonight's lecture and the clearly, then you will understand 50% of object-oriented principle. Hopefully, you will pass in this lecture, in this course. But if you do not understand tonight's lecture and the next lecture clearly, then hopefully you will struggle to pass in this course, and you will not understand object-oriented programming concept. So please give attention. Okay, please close every other basic you have and give focus here. So remember that last lecture we were discussing inheritance, right? Inheritance is one of the 5 pillars or one of the 5 principles of object-oriented programming. So inheritance, what do? We acquire or achieve or inherit properties from an existing class. The existing class is called our base class or our parent class, and we, the new class, are called child class or derived class or inherited class. So inheritance gives us the facility of reusability. How to reuse our code. So someone has developed something, or a group of people have developed something. The technique, how do we reuse those properties without killing the parent properties? Parent property will not be reused. Because someone's parents have a lot of properties. If he or she has children, right? When the children gets those property or the children property, parent property would be reduced. Some situation, for instance, you have a candle, light. If you bring another candle, 100 or 1,000 candles, get light on the new candle, the original candle's light will not be, right? Inheritance is that kind of property. There is a burning candle in a slide, and if we inherit that property, the parent property will not be reduced. Okay, that is that. Okay. And our lecture tonight, in our last lecture, we saw how to do inheritance, but in our today's lecture, we will see, actually we will seek for some limitations of inheritance today. Okay, keep your focus that from my discussion, whatever I discussed, and try to find some limitations of inheritance. That will be our goal. Okay, there is an error over here. It says leg count is not visible. Okay, it's gone. Okay, public integer. Okay. What did you do? Let us do a quick review. In our last lecture, we created a cat class, animal class. So how do I move there? So I will press Control and then over my mouse over here, then it will show me open declaration or open implementation. I will click here and then it will take me to the open declaration. And then it will take me there. Okay. So my animal package has my animal class. So we just put leg count. Okay, so this leg count is a public property. So this is why other classes, like for instance from cat class or from maybe dog class, we were able to use leg count. Okay, and another property that we use dog counter. Okay, this is a static variable, right? This is a static variable dog counter. So in our main class, main method, you see that we say what is the dog count? So dog counter, as long as we created a new, we inserted our dog counter variable, right? So this is why in our main class, when we ran our main program, it was showing me how many dog objects were created. Okay, so it's counter equal to 4. But remember that if I static, then I would not get that facility. So if I get rid of this static feature, okay, then every time I run my program, my dog counter will be 1, 1, 1. Another program is running. Sorry, my another program is running. So if I run my main class, you see that every time dog counter equal to 1, dog counter equal to 1. The reason is that I made the dog counter non-static. Once I make it static, then it will be visible in whole class. For all object of this type, it will be applicable. Okay, so this is the important feature of static variable. Okay, so now our goal, okay, we know that, we discussed that every class extends the object class, right? We do not need to write this extension, but in C sharp, instead of extend, we use just colon. In C++ and C sharp, instead of extend, we just use colon sign. Okay, and before or after colon, there will be a space. Okay, so even we do this, do not this, so then my animal class will by default get the property of object class. So what will happen when we create an animal object, for instance, or even if we say animal A1 equal to new animal, okay. Do you know that what is the error for? Can you guess? Simple. Animal, we need to import this package because my class within the project, but it in different package. A package is a packet. If I put multiple packages, this table is for each of the packets is a. Okay, got it, right? So as soon as I press A1, so you see it's showing me properties from my animal class as well as some properties from my object class, right? Okay. So now that means we can use the property object class. Now I'm asking you a question. So we see that even if we not inherit the object class explicitly, still in our main method we can write this way a1 dot, and then it will show us the object methods property, right? My another question is that I'm asking you. So can anyone please tell me, can we do object O1 equal to new object? Can we do this? Can we create an object? I commented out the program. So it is not showing me an error. So my question is that if I uncomment it, will it get an error or not? What do you think? Yes. The object class is defined within, see if I hover my mouse here. So yes, we can. We see that we can. Even we did not declare, we have not explicitly declared an object class, right? So we say that we say open decoration. If we go open decoration in some versions, I should have it, but it is not here. Source is not here. So no, my jar file does not, library does not have it. By the way, we can do this. O1 dot, if we say O1 dot, then we will get the properties only for object class. Okay. Let us remember that. Now we will seek for another we already got a limitation of inheritance. That is, we cannot have multiple parents, right? Multiple parent classes. That means we cannot like do this way. A dog, we cannot have dog extend animal, extend, for instance, and we cannot do this way. Or in C++, we can do this way. Okay, in C++ we can have parent. Okay, and here we cannot do extend. We cannot do this way. So this is a limitation, right? Okay, we remember that. We'll remember it, and we will solve it in our next lecture. We'll see how to solve this. Okay. Now, let us see what do we have in our animal class. So let us do a quick our animal class. Our animal class has public integer field, that is leg count, and it has a method move method, and within move method I just gave this comment, this print line, animal colon move, that is this move is within my class. And likely in my dog class some attributes, one of the method I have move, there I gave move dog colon move. That means I want to tell that this move is from my dog class. Similarly, cat class I have another move method, so that is but implementation is different. Okay, so we have little bit different implementation. So if we understand concept with a small implementation, when we will have our basic understanding, then in real project, so this will be a different implementation. That means a different method. See that our public void move, this move is this is the signature. Okay, exactly same as public void move, my dog class and cat class and also animal class. So in all three classes I have a move method. Okay, with same signature, same body, same header. Okay, so now what I want to do, for instance, let me concise this. Okay, I don't need this part so far. I don't need this. This. Okay, I need a dog, okay, a cat and an animal. Okay, and an object. So my code is concise, right? I have a dog object, I have one dog object, and I have a cat object, I have object, and I have an object. Okay. Now, if I call J1, okay, so let me make it initial one. Let us make it D1. D for dog. Okay, if I say D1 dog move. Okay, and if I say C1 dot move, and this then thing that it will print. There is no doubt that this D1 will print call the move method from its own dog class. And this C1 will call the move method from the cat class. Let us run this. Okay, so first one, d1.move, first move method came from dog class, and second move method came from. Did we understand this so far? Okay, now a1.move and then it will print me animals move method, right? Do you understand this? This is simple, right? Okay, now for instance, if my dog class does not have this move, my dog class does not have this move method, I delete it. I actually either delete or I can comment it out. Okay. I commented out my move method from my dog class. Okay. So then what do you think? Is it showing over here? Still my D1 is okay to call a move method. Right? So now what do you think where this move will be coming from? Yes. Let us run it. This first one, this D1 is calling from animal move. Okay. The fact is that, for instance, if I own property from my parent, for any reason if I need to spend some money, I will use my property. See, if I see I have my own, I do not have money, then I will be able to use. Okay. Still, if I have money, I cannot use my parent money. That will be a kind of sin. Our compiler will not be allowed, right? You understand the inheritance property? Okay. Now we are going there. We are going back to dog, and we got back our move, right? So now, if I run this program, I will get my what output I will get. I will get my move method from my dog. So from here, we want to extract a limitation of inheritance. Can anyone gauge that limitation? No. Let me tell you a story. Understand? I figured that. There's something important for them this class. Okay. For instance, I have enough money. If I have enough money, or anyone has enough money, and I have a child, and every day I give I give $1 or 1 penny to my child. I tell him, okay, I'm giving you this money. Whatever you do with this money, okay? Okay. Without any condition. Okay. Money, I gave him money. He took the money and he said, "Thank you." He just left it here. He did not use that. Okay. The second day I gave him money and he took my money, but he is not using that money. Okay. So every day he is taking my money, giving my money to my son or someone, beloved dog, but he is not using my money. Then will I be happy? Will I give him continuously every day? At some point, I will ask him, I'm giving you money, what are you doing with that money? I will ask him, why are you not using my money? Your money, your money, you have money, but he may ask you, okay, you give me money without any condition. Do something, right? But these are good logic is there, but still will I be happy? No. I think nobody will be happy, right? If a parent gives money to his children every day, but the children does not use that money, no parent will give money forever. The story is that, for instance, we are inheriting properties from our animal class. This animal class has a move method, right? And my dog class is extending class. That means dog class is inheriting properties. That means the move method, but dog class is not using that. Dog class is not using that. So when we create a dog object, as many dog object we create, as many dog object we create, it will not ask or use its parents. Then it seems that inherited is used. Although my move method from my animal class is inherited, but there is no use. We don't see actually any use in the child class. Do you think this is a limitation? Kind of a limitation, right? So there is a way to resolve this limitation that is called abstraction. Okay? This is the way to create a class and have as an abstraction. Okay? So in how long would you have today? 40 minutes? How many minutes? 45 minutes? Okay, next 30 minutes, let us give attention and we will understand an important property of object-oriented programming that is called abstraction. Okay. So instead of creating, okay. So let us an abstraction. We know that we know the definition of abstraction. Abstraction means concrete, is something not complete. So when you read an abstract an abstract of a paper or a dissertation or research something, you will get an idea, but not in detail, right? So in object-oriented programming, we use abstraction a lot. And in object-oriented programming, abstraction is implemented by two ways: abstract class and interface. Okay, let us understand abstract class. So when we use abstract class, abstract word, Okay, so public, we say public abstract class animal or abstract public class animal. Okay, both word works. Then animal class becomes an abstract class. So an abstract class is incomplete. That means we cannot create an object from abstract class. So you see that as soon as I added abstract over here, you see that, remember that as soon as I added abstract keyword here, my main method here was giving me an error. See that? You remember that as soon as I add abstract keyword over here and save it, my main method is giving me an error, right? Little bit cross sign over here. So if I go to my main method, it says that I cannot do that. Instantiate the type animal. Okay. That means an abstract method, an class cannot be used to create an object. That is the limitation of an abstract class. What is the limitation of an abstract class? An abstract class cannot be used to create an object. Then what is the purpose of using an object? There are some important purposes of using an abstract class. A class usually is declared as an class if it contains at least one abstract method. Okay, so what is that abstract method? Or we do not have any abstract method yet. Okay, abstract class should contain an abstract method, but it is not required. It is expected but not mandatory. Okay, so we should use a method, at least this method, abstract method, move method. So as soon as I use abstract keyword for this move method, it is showing me an error. Another problem, right? It is showing me an error. That means, okay, the problem is that an abstract method cannot have an implementation. What is the implementation? This body, until this part I selected, including the parentheses and whatever within this. An abstract class cannot have this. Okay, so that in order to resolve this error, so what we should need to know, we need to delete this implementation and we need to use a semicolon. Okay, then this part is good, and then this error, once I save it, it should be gone. So I don't have this one. So how do we construct an abstract class? In order to be an abstract class, okay, we need to use an abstract keyword. Okay. By the way, when you do the handwriting, you must space in between abstract and public. Okay, or abstract and class. Between these two, we need to make sure that we have space enough. Okay. When a class contains at least one abstract method, then that is called an abstract class. Okay, so then an abstract method, a method that does not have any implementation. So what does this abstract method tells? This abstract method tells us that in order to be an animal object, order to be an animal object, or in order to be a of an animal object, the object must move. But no matter to the parent class here, how the object will move through the child class, concrete class. The concrete class will determine how it will move. For instance, my dog class will determine how that move method will be implemented. Okay, so let us fix this one. This class must implement the inherited abstract method animal move but cannot override since it is not visible from dog. Okay, so it is okay, there is an error over here. Okay, so you see that there is an error showing that. Okay, this class must implement the inherited abstract method animal dot move of animal class must be implemented here but cannot override since it is not visible from dog. Visible means my animal class has a move method that is by default. What is the accessibility mode here? Nothing means default, right? So we need to make it public or protected, right? Okay, so if I make it public, then in my dog class the error is gone. Okay, now you see that, and in my cat class if I extend animal, then it is fine. Okay, so then since this move is inherited, you see, okay, let me see. If I do not give this move method, implement this move method, what will show me here? You see that cat class, it is showing me two. Okay, what are there? There are two quick fixes available. One is to add an implement method, and one other option is that make type cat abstract. Either I have to make the class again abstract, or what's the second option? Another option was unimplemented method. So how do we implement an abstract method? So usually we write in C++ @override annotation. O is in uppercase. Okay. And in C# we just write abstract keyword over here. O is in lowercase. Okay, and even if we do not use anybody implementation, then that is fine. Yes, still it is happy. Okay, but you see, still it is happy. But this is our implementation. We say this kind of, for instance, we wrote something. So this override keyword is it denotes that this move is originally declared in another class, in this parent class. We are overriding here. Okay, overriding means we are re-implementing over here. Okay. Similarly, my dog class, in my dog class I should use @override. Okay. So method overriding is one of the properties of programming, object-oriented programming, important property that is called polymorphism. Poly means many, morphism means sort. Many forms. An object can have many picture over here, right? At some place I may be a student, right? Single person, I am doing some behavior here as a teacher, and if I go to a place and sit as a student, then I will do different behavior, right? Similarly, you may be other place, you may be, right? And your role will be different than here. In real life, an object performs multiple things, multiple ways, right? Similarly, in object-oriented programming, an object performs multiple. What do we understand from here? That, okay, so this move method is my abstract method. It's an abstract method, okay? Okay, so since my move method is abstract, then class must be abstract. If you see that, if a class contains at least one abstract element, one abstract method, class must be an abstract class. That is showing me another make type abstract. Okay, I can say public abstract or abstract public, no problem. So what we have learned that, okay, but in order to be an abstract class, okay, a class should contain an abstract method, at least one abstract method. But an abstract class is 0 to 100% abstraction. That means even if we do not have an abstract method, even if this method is not abstract, right? It has a body, even that body is empty. Still it has a body. Even it is empty. Then still I can make this class an abstract class. So then an abstract class is 0 to 100% abstract. All method I do have within my abstract class can be abstract or non-abstract. A few can be abstract. So an abstract class is 0 to 100% abstract. So for instance here, I may have, so this method is abstract. Okay. How do I say that this is abstract method? There is no implementation. You see that there is, okay. So in our previous semesters, we asked to write a class, for instance, class that needs to be an abstract class, and that contains, for instance, a move method. So in that case, you must use abstract over here, and you must use abstract here, and you cannot have any implementation. So even some people, they wrote like this. This is an error, right? And if you even if you an empty, this is empty, nothing, but still it will be considered as implementation. Okay. This is abstract, and for instance, I have another non-abstract method. For instance, say it. So once I make it non-abstract, then I need to put an implementation, right? How do I put an implementation? This is non-abstract. And this is, the top one is abstract. So an abstract class can be abstract. That means it will contain all methods that will be abstract, or it will be partially abstract. If it contains at least one abstract method, the class must be abstract. Understand? Okay, so what are the advantages of having abstract method? The class is showing error. My animal class has an implementation public void dog Doc class has it also. So change the method visibility to public. Okay. Now let us create another class. I want to create another class within another package. Yes. Okay, BARD package, BIRD. Okay, I put BIRDS, BARD's package. Okay, and instead of doc package, I want to rename it. How do I do rename? Right click and then refactor and then rename. Instead of doc package, I want to say pet package. Dog and cat are pets, right? Pets package. If I change this way, refactor is everywhere it will be changed automatically. So I don't need to do anything. You see that everywhere it changes automatically. Okay. So in my bars package, I want to create a bar class. What is a bar class? Parrot or myna? Myna, right? A myna is a bird. I created myna and I want to extend the animal. Myna is a kind of animal, right? Yeah. But as soon as I extend animal, it is showing me an error. Okay, first one, I need to implement animal package since they are in different same project, different package. So I need to use import class. Okay, but again there will be another error. It is showing me there are two available options. Okay, there are two quick fixes. One, I need to make as an abstract, or Myna is a bird, right? That can speak. You know that, right? Okay, right, parrot. Okay, so or unimplement, add unimplemented. So what is my unimplemented method? As soon as I click over there, so that move is my unimplemented method, right? Okay. So let us give some nice okay. Then my error is gone. And in my main class, if I create a main object m1 equal to new minor, then I need to import minor from bar class since they are in different package. Okay, that's gone. If I say m1 dot move. So do you think which move will be called? You will call move from minor itself, right? Yes, if I press Control and then hover my mouse over here, and if you see that it has three options. One is called open decoration, another is called open implementation, and it's called open implementation. Let us go from the back. If I click on open super implementation, that is it is showing here. Super class is the top one. Parent implementation. Yeah. Super. And if I click implementation, open implementation, then it will be showing me in its own minus own implementation. Okay, and if I click on the decoration, then it will still show me in the okay. What do you understand? What is an object class? An abstract class? Class contains at least one abstract element. Say abstract matter. That will be called. So, what is the another property of an abstract class? Is that an abstract class contains contain at least one abstract matter, but it cannot have zero abstract matter. It can be an abstract class, but if it has at least one abstract matter, then it must be right. Okay, then what is the limitation of a class? It cannot create an abstract, right? It's like a bed. It cannot some animals, right? That cannot be part baby. So, but if even if an abstract class cannot give us ability to create an object, but still it is important, right? What is the important that? So the abstract class, whatever property, for instance, we will be, for instance, we inheriting must be used. For instance, if I make my move method abstract, then any class inherits this animal class must implement this move. Okay, the implementation may be different. For instance, a bird's movement is different than a dog's movement, right? Bird fly and walk. A dog or a cat can walk but cannot fly. Right? So implementation is different. Okay, but must have an implementation. So by declaring an abstract class, we are ensuring that whoever will use this animal class as a parent must have this property. This will ensure that whenever I am giving training to my child, he must have to use that. I am not giving any condition how he will use it. I told him that he can use that money, but he must use that. Without using, he cannot ask me anything. Understand my story? Okay. So abstraction we can resolve issue, right? What is the issue? That it will ensure that the child object will utilize the inherited property. No matter how we will. Anyone has any question about abstraction? In your test, you will get a question. Test 2 and in your final. You will get a question. So the parent class is called here animal class is an abstract class and dog class and bird class is a concrete. Concrete class means non-abstract class. that can be used to create object. Okay. Through abstraction, we resolve the equation of inheritance, right? This is the limitation of inheritance that we resolve through abstraction, that it will ensure that the inherited property will be implemented. Anyone have any question? So can we have, for instance, you said like this. You said like this. Abstract means unimplemented methods. Okay. Do I have 3 more minutes? 45, under 45, right? Okay, I have 7 more minutes. Okay, for the next 5 minutes. If you understand for the next 5 minutes, you will get 20 points in your. Okay, I am doing this way. You need to tell me whether my statement is correct or not. Okay. Dog D 7 equal to new dog. Is it correct or false? True or false? Correct or incorrect? Okay. Okay. This is my question. Since C1, if I say dog 8 equal to new dog, is it correct or incorrect? Okay. If you say incorrect, raise your voice. Okay. So if I say dog D9 equal to new cat. Anyone say correct? Okay, that's good. Okay. So if I say cat C7 equal to new dog, it's correct or incorrect? Incorrect, right? Okay. Let us fix this. This one is correct, right? I will fix that later. Okay, this is the important one. I am coming. If I say dog D11 equal to new animal. So there is a doubt, right? Correct. Huh? What is the reason? Yes. Yes, he said the correct. So it is incorrect because you see that if I take out this, show me an error. I cannot instantiate type animal because it is abstract. Okay, so this is incorrect. Okay, if I say animal, D for instance 17 equal to new dog. Listen, is correct or incorrect? Okay, how many say incorrect? Incorrect? You said correct or incorrect? Incorrect? Let us take vote for this. How many of say correct? Raise your hand. Okay. Let us be fair. How many of you do not understand? Not sure. How many of you not sure? If you do not raise your hand, that means that I will say that not you. You're sleeping. Okay. 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 So this statement is correct. The reason is that there is a quick trick. There is a trick. Okay, for 1 minute trick. Okay. If you remember the trick, you will never forget it. Okay. But if you forget it or do any mistake, if you get a question like this in your test, if you do a mistake, never tell that you took this course with me. Never tell that. Okay. Tell that you don't know me. Okay. If you forget this trick or if you do mistake on there, trick is that you will ask a question. What do we mean, say by, for instance, integer x equal to 5? What do we do here? We assign the value of x equal to 5, right? We assign 5 into x. The right side value 5 is coming into x, right? You know that. It's simple, right? Okay, use this simple strategy over here. Ask a question over here. Okay. Are all dogs animal? If you find your answer yes, then it is correct. Ask a question, are all dogs animal? All, right? So, yes, all dogs are animal, right? Okay, all dogs are animal, then this is true. But if you say even my animal is non-abstract, even my animal is non-abstract, for instance, my animal is non-abstract over here, then still you cannot, then you will ask me, are all animal dog? Then you have some animals that are not dog, right? That answer is not true, right? Ask a question this way. Are all animals true or false? Then statement is false. Here, are all dog cat? No, then this statement is false. This statement is false. Okay, are all cat dog? No, so this statement is false. All dog? Yes. Then this statement is true, right? Are all dog? Yes. So now the last one, you tell me. Last one, if you say cat. Is it correct or false? Correct, right? Because all cats are animal. Okay. The trick is that you ask the question from right side to left side. Are all cat dog? If you find true answer, then statement is true. Okay, and then if you find a false answer, then statement is false. If you remember, everybody understand this? Okay, if you remember this, then tell me that you know me. Okay? Okay, so the last minute, give me 1 minute. So this statement is correct, right? This statement is correct, and this statement is correct, and this is incorrect, and this is incorrect. Okay, and this is incorrect, and this is correct, and this is incorrect. There are two reasons that, okay, because animals is an abstract class here, although there is another reason that all animals are not dog, because there are some animals that are not dog. This is called object relationship, an important and critical properties of object-oriented programming. The technique is that if you follow my technique, you will never forget. But If you do not follow this technique or do not know your own technique, this is not that you will memorize. This is a good interview question. Okay. Thank you so much, and everybody have a good night.